Hello everyone and welcome to this new video with Damien the Jewelry Rockstar. Today we'll be creating this stunning pentagonal ring with Blender 3.2. Alright, we're going to start slow, but believe me, we're going to go hard and fast pretty soon. Alright, time to say goodbye to the default cube, bye bye, and let's go to add a circle. Don't forget to open the small parametric window at the bottom left. Our mesh circle is going to have 150 vertices, radius 9.1, aligned to the view. Now let's go again and add a new mesh circle, but this time we're going to have only 5 vertices to make it pentagonal. Align to the view and scale as needed. Just take care that the thickness to the circle is good enough because it's going to be the thickness of your ring. Alright, now we're going to append an oval gemstone. If you don't have one, you can go and follow the gemstone modeling tutorial or simply go to the Blender market and buy my upgraded gemstone asset. Okay, so simplify your oval shaped file and double click on it to bring it to your Blender scene. Great, so now select your gemstone and set a dimension of 10 by 12. It's quite big. And don't forget to copy and paste the scale to the Z-axis to preserve the proportion. Now center the gemstone and move it to the top of the ring, close to the position where it's going to be set. Okay, now select the pentagon, go to edit mode with the tab key, select everything with A and then close the shape with F. Then with the move tool, move the shape 2 mm to the right or what adjusts to your design. Now we're going to start extruding the shape with the E key, go to the right and also scale to bevel the shank. We're going to do that a couple of times to give thickness to the ring. Okay, extrude one more time. This is the thickest part. We're going to scale it down a bit. Don't forget to visualize your design from time to time. And we're going to lower it a bit to have a flat bottom. Great, now we're going to select the 2 bottom vertices. Use the shift key to select one and the other. And we're going to taper the body of the ring to the inside, just like this. Good, so now that the taper is done, we're going to start naming things. This is going to be the ring body. Use the F2 key to rename or double click on the name in the outliner. And then select the circle we made at the beginning, and that's going to be the ring size. Now go to edit mode with the tab key, F to close the shape, E to extrude, Y on the Y axis. Go through the body of the ring just like this. And don't forget to go to mesh normals, recalculate to the outside. And now also select the ring body, go to edit mode, select everything with A, go to mesh normal, recalculate outside if you haven't done so already. Okay, great. Now it's time to center the body of the ring, so tweak it if necessary. Great, so now from the side view you can see that the bottom of the ring is not perfectly flat. So we're going to learn a small trick to correct that. Go to edit mode on the body of the ring, activate the transparency with Alt Z, and then select the bottom vertices with the B box selection. Now do a scale with the S key on the Z axis with Z and hit 0 to level up all the vertices. This is a very useful trick to even things out. Perfect, now it's time to make the boolean. Select the body of the ring, add modifier boolean, use the fast mode, select the ring size, and don't forget to hide it with the H key. Now visualize your design to go wow and be happy. Great. Now we're going to slightly skew the ring by simply moving the bottom vertices. So select the body of the ring, go to edit mode with the tab key, do an Alt A to deselect all the vertices, Alt Z to activate the transparency, and B to have the box selection and select the bottom vertices. Then select the move tool and move them to the right. so that they slightly cross over the middle axis. Now select the body of the ring, go to Add Modifiers Mirror, select the oval gemstone as the reference for the mirror and do a mirror on the y-axis or the axis that suits your design. Now also add a bevel modifier, do a 0.2 amount in 2 segments or whatever numbers work for you. And also don't forget to reset the scale with Ctrl A scale to have everything in correct proportion. Good, so now we're going to create a cutter for the position of the gemstone. We're going to use the ring size, so bring it back with the little eye filter in the outliner, copy it with Shift D and move it up on the Z axis. Now scale the cutter accordingly to your gemstone, SX or whatever other axis that might be necessary. Center it to cut through and through. And now we're ready to make the boolean on the ring body. So add a boolean modifier, fast method, and select the cutter. Don't forget to hide it with the H key to see the result. Now the body of the ring is too heavy, so we're going to create a cutter. For that, we're going to copy the body of the ring. And we're going to go to edit mode. In edit mode, we're going to select only the front vertices. There are 5, obviously. Don't worry if they're not on the same plane, it does not matter. Now do a Ctrl I to invert the selection and delete the vertices we don't need. Now select all the vertices again with A and start scaling accordingly to your design. Take care to keep enough thickness for 3D printing and manufacturing the jewel. Once you're done, proceed to extruding on the y-axis to go through and through. Now duplicate the ring size circle, go to edit mode, F to close the shape, and extrude on the y-axis to go through and through. Then don't forget to select all the vertices with A and go to mesh normals, recalculate outside. Now make the cylinder bigger than the finger size and then go to the Pentagonal cutter, add a boolean modifier and remove the inside cylinder. Check that you're keeping some inner thickness to manufacture the ring. Now we're going to cut the cutter to make it more interesting. So add a mesh circle with 5 vertices to create a new pentagon. Rotate it 180 degrees to bring it upside down. Scale it as needed. Check the view and bring it to the front. Great, now go to edit mode. Select everything with A, F to close the shape, and extrude from side to side on the y-axis. Don't forget to select everything, go to mesh normals and recalculate to the outside. Then slightly adjust the position if necessary. Okay, so far so good. So now select the first pentagonal cutter, add modifier boolean, fast, remove the cutter we just made, hide it, and see the nice shapes we're creating. Now select the body of the ring, add boolean modifier, fast method, and remove those shapes from the ring. Now look at the design. Go wow and be happy. Okay, now select the ring body, go to edit mode and face mode, select that big face, hit P selection to extract that face, exit edit mode, select that face, go to edit mode, select everything, delete only faces, exit edit mode, go to mesh, convert to curve. Okay, now so the object you have are the edges of the face we extracted. It's converted to a curve, so now you can go to Object Data, Geometry, and make a round bevel for these edges. Alright, so create a round bevel with a depth of maybe 0.4, 0.3, depends your design, what suits. Resolution 20 must be pretty high to have it pretty smooth. And when you're done, we'll go and add a mirror modifier based on the central stone on the X and Y axis to complete these decorative edges for all the sides of the ring. Fine, so now add a mesh circle with 100 vertices and adapt its shape and size to the big stone, the oval stone. Then convert it to a curve. Then go to Object Data Geometry to bevel it with a depth of 0.5 and a resolution of 10. Now we're going to go to Materials, add New Material, and go to Viewport Display Color all the way down the list and give it a golden color to help you visualize this part of the design. Then don't forget to give a shade smooth to the object. Then copy the objects a couple of times and adjust it to your design to create a bevel for the central stone. Now go ahead and visualize your design. It's very important to check the elements and make sure that everything is in place and all right. Then we're going to add a material to the big gemstone. So go to Materials, add Material, call it Citrine, and go to Viewport Display Color and give it a darker golden color. Now we're going to take the big stone, make a copy with Shift D, and create a smaller gemstone with a dimension of 2 by 2. And don't forget to copy the scale to the Z axis. Then go to Materials, add a diamond material, and go to Viewport Display Color and give it a slight bluish color. Let's go ahead and configure the snap tool. Snap to face, snap with center, align rotation to target, and affect move and rotate. Then proceed to turning on the snap. Now go ahead and Shift D to copy the stone and start distributing the gemstones on the side of the ring. So while you make the placement, maybe you'll have to use smaller gemstones. Go ahead and scale it down. Don't forget to use real life sizes for your gemstones. Diamonds of 2 or 1.75 millimeters are perfectly fine. When you're done, select all your gemstones with Shift and join them with Ctrl J. Then go to Modifiers, add Modifier Mirror based on the central gemstone on the X and Y axis to complete the gemstones on all sides. Also, don't forget to hide the original small stone and then put a nice name to your stones like diamonds by example. Now we're going to make some cuts. So go ahead and add a plane mesh. Then go to edit mode with the tab key and start adapting the vertices to the edges of the area. When you're ready, go to Modifiers, add Modifier Shrink Wrap. Select the target, the body of the ring, and the wrap method is going to be project. Then project on the Z-axis negative. If necessary, adapt the shape of your plane in edit mode and also project in any axis that works for your design. Now, when you're done, proceed and add a solidify modifier. The offset at 0 and thickness at 1.5 depends what suits your design. After that, don't forget to add a mirror modifier based on the central gemstone on the X and Y axis to complete the cutters. Then the next step obviously is to make the boolean on the body of the ring. So go ahead, select the body of the ring, add modifier boolean, fast method, and select the cutters we just made to make the cut. Then don't forget to hide the cutters to see the result. Now we're going to create the prongs. So go ahead and add a UV sphere, with 80 segments and 40 rings. It's going to be very smooth. Then scale it to the size you see fit, maybe around 0.8. Then tap key to go to edit mode, Alt Z to activate the transparency, B to select the half of the sphere. Then move it down to enlarge the prong. The length depends on the size of your cut around the stones. Now also select everything with A and move the prong to adapt the center of mass. That's where the prong is going to snap to the surface. You can always come back later and adjust the size of the prong accordingly. Then also go ahead and make a shade smooth. Now we're ready to distribute the prongs. Don't forget to turn the snap back on. It's already properly configured. And then Shift D your prongs, distribute them, adjust the scale if necessary, adjust the position if necessary, and complete all the prongs around the stones. We're going to have 2 shared prongs between each stone. Once you're done, select all your prongs together with Shift, Ctrl J to join them, and add a mirror modifier based on the central stone on the X and Y axis to complete the prongs. Now I'm worried with the weight on the inside of the ring, so we're going to create special cutters for the inside areas. Go ahead and add a plain mesh, go to edit mode, and start adjusting the vertices to the inside area. Make it so that you are at a pretty even distance from the edges and have enough room for the cuts. Then go out of edit mode, go to modifiers, add modifier shrink wrap, then search for the correct direction for your projection. In my case, it's going to be a Z positive. Then the next step is to add the solidify modifier, offset 0, thickness 1.152, depends the space you have, but beware to preserve the area of the gemstone and not destroy the mesh. Okay, great, but now this cutter is very ugly and very boring, so we're going to add a mesh cube. We're going to make it wide enough so it cuts through the inside cutter. Then we're going to rotate it. We're going to copy it and distribute it in an X fashion so it looks way more attractive. Alright, so when you're done distributing these cutters, we're going to join them, select them with Shift, Ctrl J. Then obviously select the inside cutter, add Boolean, fast, and select these boxes to make the cut to the inside cutter and make it look really pretty. Now we obviously have to select the body of the ring, add a Boolean modifier, and make a fast difference from that inside cutter. Then, if like me you forgot to add the mirror to the inside cutter, don't worry, just go back and select the inside cutter, add the mirror modifier based on the central stone on the X and Y axis. The Boolean on the body of the ring will obviously automatically calculate the new mirror modifier and apply the cuts to all the sides of the ring. Look at this, ain't that beautiful? Okay, great, but that's not enough. Usually the rings have nice decorations on the sides, so we're going to go ahead and add a Bezier curve, move it to the side and go to edit mode. Then start editing your curve, grab, move, adapt. If you want to add a point, select the last point and hit Ctrl left mouse button to keep drawing your Bezier curve. I'm going to make some floral designs, pretty classical ones. Also, don't forget to check the resolution of your curve. 45 will be good. If you want to keep drawing in the same Bezier object, simply deselect everything and hit Ctrl and the left mouse button. Like this, you can draw all the curves you want in the same object. It will be a great advantage later, as all the modifiers will apply to all the curves at the same time, and also the bevel will work for all the curves at the same time. Now we're going to go ahead and add a shrink wrap modifier to the curves. Take the time to find the correct direction for the projection, as always we might say. In my case, it's going to be a Z negative. Now we're going to create the bevel shape for these curves. So go and add a Bezier circle. Then go to edit mode and create this pyramidal shape, adjusting the handle and the vertices. Now we're going to apply the bevel object to the curve. So go to the curves, object data, geometry, bevel object, and select the pyramidal shape we just drew. Now the shape is going to appear totally squashed to the surface. That's because the shrink wrap modifier is activated. We're not going to remove it, but we're going to hit the small screen button on the shrink wrap modifier so that the shrink wrap doesn't show on screen. Now you can adapt the scale of the bevel curve, adjust it as needed so it looks good on your design. Now also quickly apply the gold materials to the curves so they look better on screen. Now if by any chances your curves are all on different levels like mine, that looks obviously bad, go to edit mode. There's a small trick to level that up at once. Select everything with A, do an S, X, 0, and all the curves will be leveled up very nicely. Alright, great. So now it's all about drawing and adjusting all these curves to perfect these decorations. Okay, so now that these decorations are completed, we're going to copy them with a Shift D and hide the original. Then we're going to go to the shrink wrap modifier to show it again and see these beautiful decorations get squashed again against the body of the ring. To avoid that, it's very simple. Simply apply the shrink wrap modifier and you will be saved. The decorations will be perfectly projected to the body of the ring. Ta-da! Now finally, to complete this amazing design, simply add a mirror modifier to the decorations. Do it based on the central gemstone on the X and Y axis to complete the decorations to all the sides of the ring. Amazing! If you made it till here and completed this fantastic pentagonal design, be proud of yourself. You've completed a perfect jewelry design in the perfect jewelry Rockstar tradition. Don't forget to thank Blender for existing, making your donations to the Blender Foundation, or buying my assets to participate in the Blender Fund. And as always, be nice to people, be nice to animals, and be nice to the planet. Take care and see you soon.